So thank you very much, Linny. It's a great honor to be given the opportunity to speak here today. Congratulations to Tom and the team for a fantastic event. And I'm really pleased to be delivering this address in my role as the Cybersecurity Ambassador for the UK, a role that involves me promoting the UK cybersecurity expertise internationally, facilitating new relationships, strengthening existing ones with close friends and allies, as well as supporting the growth of our cyber ecosystem back in the UK. Now, as Lenny said, last year, my friend and colleague Kieran Martin, the Chief Executive Officer of the National Cybersecurity Centre in the UK, came and talked for the first time about the launch of the NCSC and about some of the new capabilities and approaches it's developing. So what I want to do today is give you a bit of an update on how we've been faring in the United Kingdom, a bit of an update on the work that we're doing, including the work we're doing in building our ecosystem within the country. It's great to be here in Washington again, and I should start by just reflecting on the partnership between the UK and the US. We, of course, have the closest of partnerships in areas from defense to trade, diplomacy, and security and intelligence, which is my own background. Of course, that intelligence and security relationship started off very differently. In 1775, Charles Dumas designed the first diplomatic cipher for the Continental Congress, and Benjamin Franklin used it to communicate with agents and ministers in Europe, presenting us with a bit of a challenge. And a colleague told me a story recently about how in 1782, my predecessors in the UK intercepted General Washington's plans to capture the son of King George III, our king, Prince William Henry, future King William IV of Britain, during his visit to New York. As a result of that interception, we took some action on the basis of that intelligence. Security for the visit was strengthened, and the threat was averted, a triumph for British intelligence. General Washington had apparently instructed that had the operation been successful, the young prince should suffer no insult or indignity. And William responded much later, many years later, when he was told about this plan, in the following way: "I'm obliged to General Washington for his humanity, but I'm damn glad I didn't give him an opportunity of exercising it towards me." So since then, our relationship, I think, has evolved and changed. Our joint work during the Second World War and beyond have made significant contribution to our mutual security. Our collaboration on intelligence and on information security in the years following has been vital. And today on cybersecurity, we share information and technology. Our officials work closely together on policy and operational matters. Our law enforcement agencies work together on fighting cybercrime, including, for example, during WannaCry. Our academics and universities collaborate in research and development and in testing the next generation of cyber students at events like the second Cambridge to Cambridge Cybersecurity Challenge, run by MIT and Cambridge University. And there's great connection between our cybersecurity industries. And all of that is essential to help us face the challenges that we've been hearing about today together and build that joint cyber capacity that we need for the future. So in the UK today, over 95% of our businesses use the internet. The majority of all of our employees use computers at work. The internet is used daily by the vast majority of British adults, and 4 out of 5 people in the UK bought something online in the past year. That, combined with our significant e-government agenda, makes the UK one of the most digitally dependent nations in the world, and of course makes cybersecurity central to our modern economy and to securing that prosperity. And the scale of the threat, of course, is significant. In UK terms, a recent survey for the government showed that 46% of all of our businesses had identified at least one cyber breach or attack in the last year, and that included nearly half of our small businesses. Of those that had successfully identified a breach, 34% had to divert staff time and effort onto resolving it. Nearly a quarter couldn't carry out their day-to-day work as a result of the attack, and nearly 20% had to pay for repair and recovery costs. Now, there's no need for me to labor today to this audience the way in which this cybersecurity threat is evolving and developing. We've been hearing all about that. But with these breaches increasingly costing more time, effort, reputation, money, it's absolutely crucial to us in the UK that we're protected against the threat, and that's something that our government is determined to get right. So to meet this challenge, we launched our National Cybersecurity Strategy, our second strategy, last year, supported by £1.9 billion of transformational investment. The strategy sets out ambitious policies to protect the UK in cyberspace. Our vision for 2021 is that the UK is secure and resilient to cyber threats, prosperous and confident in the digital world. And we've got three core pillars in our strategy: to defend our people, our businesses and assets across public and private sectors, to deter and disrupt our adversaries, whether they're states, criminals, hacktivists, to develop critical capabilities to build skills, support growth, and stimulate science and technology in the field of cyber. And alongside this, we're committed to working internationally with all states to develop a common understanding of the benefits of a free, open, peaceful, and secure cyberspace. Building confidence and trust with all nations, maximizing the mutual advantages that cyberspace has to offer, whilst also enhancing our collective security. We're committed to promoting an international stability framework for cyberspace based on the application of existing international law, agreed voluntary norms of responsible state behavior, and confidence-building measures, supported by coordinated capacity-building programs. And over the course of the last year, we've expanded our efforts to increase cyber resilience across the world. We've helped many countries improve their cybersecurity, reduce their own vulnerability, and by extension, reducing the threat to the UK and our allies. We've helped conduct national cybersecurity capacity assessments, public awareness campaigns, supported the adoption of better industry standards, conducted cybercrime exercises internationally, helped with law enforcement training and strengthening around incident response. So a significant international agenda for us. Back home, a core part of our strategy was launching the National Cybersecurity Centre to provide a single central body for cybersecurity at a national level, pulling together a range of different government organisations that had developed in the cyber arena into one place. The NCSC manages national cyber incidents, carries out real-time threat analysis, and provides tailored advice to sectors, including our critical national infrastructure. It's got a key objective to understand the cybersecurity environment, share knowledge, and use that expertise to identify and address systemic vulnerabilities. And I'm pleased to say that the formation of the NCSC in its first year of work has been strongly welcomed by industry and by our international partners, and I was pleased to hear some of the comments by colleagues earlier on the NCSC and our approach. Over the last year, the Centre has been developing services and systems to make the cyber automatically safer. For example, by filtering out malicious content and links before they reach people's inboxes, applying systems to verify the origin of emails to stop people being tricked into handing over their login credentials. And these approaches, and Kieran talked about these last year, things that we're labeling active cyber defense, I'm convinced remain at the core of our approach as a government to helping secure cyberspace for the UK. The NCSC focuses on the most significant cyber incidents affecting the UK. Since it was set up last October, it's been involved in managing 480 such incidents, and it deals with about 60 serious attacks a month. The NCSC has detected twice as many national-level cybersecurity incidents than we saw in 2014. And WannaCry, of course, was an example that made everyone sit up and pay attention to ransomware particularly, and the broader cyber issues we're facing. And it's safe to say that the NCSC's response was strong and effective. It moved quickly to support victims, to help get essential services back up and running quickly. I think WannaCry was a real test for our new approach, and I think it's been vindicated. The National Centre is now working to support departments across government to help them address their reliance on unsupported IT, identifying software patches that need to be updated, installing proper antivirus software, and mapping out what data should be backed up. And in all of this work, the NCSC's partnership with industry is absolutely fundamental. WannaCry demonstrated the speed at which public services, and others of course, can be affected by a global cyber incident. And so amongst our approaches, we're taking action to help incentivize the protection of our essential services and infrastructure. We've proposed new fines of up to £17 million, or 4% of global turnover, for poor cybersecurity as part of the Network and Information Systems Directive. And our forthcoming data protection bill, in the same vein, will mean organizations have to take greater care in protecting the personal data of citizens. So a significant agenda there. And this agenda is not just about detecting, defending, deterring cyber attacks. It's also about developing the cyber ecosystem in the UK. I think we already have a strong reputation for providing trusted cybersecurity solutions to organizations and governments around the world. We've got a thriving £22 billion cybersecurity sector made up of over 1,000 cybersecurity companies, offering advice, products and services from strategy consultancy, training, secure network infrastructure, data analytics, incident response and recovery. And I'm delighted that some of those companies are represented at this event today. And we want to build on this rich heritage and this current development to grow the UK cybersecurity sector and ensure that we've got the skills and expertise we need as a nation to thrive. The NCSC runs a variety of schemes to accredit different cyber products, from encryption solutions to incident response services, to help cybersecurity customers navigate the cyber marketplace and ensure that they can have confidence that they're working with high-quality UK providers. And we're also developing a pipeline of work to ensure that we have a strong ecosystem of British firms. We're developing interventions to move ideas into products, products into startups, startups into successful UK companies, and successful UK companies into world-class enterprises. So over the last year, we've established an innovation centre for cyber in Cheltenham, close to GCHQ, the parent of the National Cybersecurity Centre, and we're establishing a second cyber innovation centre in London. The Innovation Centre in Cheltenham opened in July with the launch of the GCHQ Cyber Accelerator Programme, and it's proving a great success. Over the next 3 years, we'll be investing around £14 million into the London Centre to develop a next generation of cybersecurity technology to help keep the nation safe. And these innovation centres will see government bringing together large firms, primes, hand in hand with innovative startups and industry experts to develop those new technologies that we'll need to protect ourselves. And again, the partnership between government, industry, and academia is fundamental. And this will help make sure the UK's entrepreneurs are creating the solutions the market needs and securing crucial investment. It'll give startups access to expert technical mentoring, business support, and advice to help them grow in the early stages. We're also providing an intensive bootcamp program to help startups at the early stage improve their knowledge and accelerate growth. We provide advice on support to inward investment into the UK. And we have a dedicated team in our Department for International Trade, backed up by a global network supporting UK cyber exports worldwide. And we're encouraging venture capitalists to look to the UK to invest in world-leading British companies. And of course, all of this technology, all of this innovation is of no use if we don't have the people to operate it and to build for the future. So we need to ensure that we have the skills to meet this exponentially growing demand and that we're inspiring a new generation in cybersecurity. So that's why the government's created a cyber schools program as part of our drive to do this. This schools program will see thousands of the best and brightest young minds given the opportunity to learn cutting-edge cyber skills alongside their secondary school studies through a nationwide network of extracurricular clubs, activities, online games, mentoring. It aims to inspire the talent of tomorrow and give thousands of the brightest young minds the chance to learn about cyber and engage with it. We'll support and encourage school children to develop the key skills they need to work in the cybersecurity sector, whether in government or industry, and help defenders against these threats. Up to £20 million is available to deliver this program, which will see students take a comprehensive cyber curriculum, mixing expert, instructor-led, classroom and online teaching with real-world challenges and hands-on work experiences. And again, this is about industry and government working together. And SANS, British Telecom, FutureLearn, and Cybersecurity Challenge UK will deliver this program for us. Prospective students, teachers, industry members, and volunteers are registering their interest now in advance of the scheme starting. And our aim is to get at least 5,700 teenagers trained by 2021. We're launching this pilot in the autumn. This initiative, and all of these initiatives, are part of our national cybersecurity program to find, finesse, and fast-track tomorrow's online security expert. We're developing our cybersecurity apprenticeships for critical sectors scheme, supporting leading employers in critical sectors, including telecoms, broadcasting, energy, and transport, to develop the next generation of cyber professionals through higher apprenticeships. We have our Cyber First program, aimed at identifying individuals who have the aptitude to become the next generation of UK cybersecurity experts. There's a bursary funding scheme offering grants of up to £4,000 for 1,000 students by 2020 to study a relevant degree, to do a placement, to attend a summer school, and potentially give them the chance to work in national security on graduation. There are 1,250 free places on Cyber First in 2017, and we've also got our Cyber First Girls competition, where teams of 12 to 14-year-old young women can pit their wits against one another to crack a series of online puzzles around cyber. So we've got a significant amount of activity underway to build our ecosystem, whether it's through our industry, through supporting academia, and developing the skills programs. All of these interventions, together with the private sector investment and drive that we depend on so much, should help defend the UK and create an ecosystem with the capabilities to develop our growth and our wider national security objectives. So in conclusion, it's been a busy year for the UK and a busy year for the National Cybersecurity Centre and for our National Cyber Programme. 1 year on, we remain strongly committed to our holistic approach as set out by the strategy, and I think events have proven the value of the NCSC and the approach that we're taking. We're continuing to push ahead, continuously improving our levels of protection and our endeavour to be at the forefront of technology development and innovation. We know the costs of successful attacks can be significant. We've heard about, and we all know in this room, about the exciting developments around IoT that offer huge opportunities for society and for industry, but of course bring with them threats that we need to address and we need to manage. We believe we've got the right national strategy in the UK to help us to do this. We've got the right emphasis through our strategy on defending ourselves, on deterring our adversaries, on developing our ecosystem, and the right emphasis on working internationally with our key partners to deliver collective security in the cyber age. Thank you very much for your attention.